So here we're standing in front of a constellation of tables that we did. We call it Playing with Ludwig, based on the fact that we're basically playing with Ludwig Wittgenstein based on a paragraph each time of his philosophical investigations, sometimes also other manuscripts. And we're playing as much a game based on his paragraph as we're kind of also playing him or playing around with it. So each of these tables has a theme. This one treats games, this one treats concepts and the question of how open, how blurry can a concept be to still function. Here we're more talking about perception, all the ways perception can break down. Wittgenstein talks about painting here. He used the example of genre painting and says, well, you could see a genre painting with very clear depictions of objects, like here maybe an apple, and yet not recognize the objects. Or you could have one with blurry depictions of objects, and yet you have the feeling that you recognize them. And so he's really looking at different ways in which perception works, in which it can break down. This one here was around death, and the question of how our language has mythologies hidden in them. And for each of the tables, we basically use things we find. Sometimes we always have this principle of using chalk, exactly, which has always played a role, or for a long time has played an important role in Nikolaus's work. Here it's really about the way our world is set up kind of determines the way we think about it. The fact that we have two arms, how this maybe leads us to find dichotomies so plausible, the good and the bad, and so on and so forth. And yeah, this is really about different images of what language is, from the early Wittgenstein's logician image of language in the Tractatus, to the later Wittgenstein's image where language is conceived as something much more open. So we did this in the studio in Vienna together, setting them up here again and enriching them as well with things we found which related to the local context. And some of them we did here in the evenings in this short residency we had at Les Tanneries in Amélie.